So this is Draw My Life, the Disney edition, so I'm drawing my Disney life. And July of 2012 was kind of a rough month for me at the beginning because my best friend and I got into it and we no longer spoke. But the week after that all happened was my 21st birthday. So I had, luckily, friends that wanted to make it special, so thank you guys. So in August, we actually took a spontaneous trip to Vegas, which we decided to call Vegas. But in September, when we were back, things kind of went down at the Crab Shack, and that meant I no longer worked there. But Holly was nice enough to get me a job at TGI Fridays, so thank you, Holly, for that. Unfortunately, though, I never worked a day at Fridays, because the day after I got the job at Fridays, I actually got an interview at the Disneyland Resort, which thank you Stacy and Neldy for letting me use you guys as references on my application. So I went to the interview not being nervous whatsoever. I still had the normal nerves, but I wasn't that nervous just because I already had a job. And they went through the normal process and I went through the normal answers, and next thing you know, I got hired. So the lady who interviewed me, I don't remember her name, asked me where I wanted to go, and I said I wanted to go to the Haunted Mansion because ever since I was little and visited the park with my parents, I loved the Haunted Mansion. It was my favorite thing ever. It was always my dream to be that creepy little girl working there wearing that green velvety dress, which I never really considered to be super hot in the summer, but lo and behold, there were no positions available at the Haunted Mansion, so they put me at California Adventure and Hollywoodland attractions, and eventually that would lead me to the right path to the Tower of Terror. So October 5th I got hired and I went to Tradition and I met Mickey Mouse and I shook his hand, and it was cool, and yeah, I know it was somebody in a costume, but it felt cool, okay? So lo and behold, I had no idea that I was going to be placed at the most boring place in Hollywoodland, and that was the animation building. But it wasn't that bad because I got to meet awesome people and I got to work with the coolest sea turtle in the world, Crush from Finding Nemo at Turtle Talk, and my official title inside of Turtle Talk was Squirt, and that was kind of awesome. So thanks guys, because that was awesome. And of course my favorite part of being a new hire was working World of Color every night, because I actually preferred World of Color to animation because there was more to do, believe it or not. I don't care what anybody says, I preferred it. Fast forward 4 months, and my lead at animation, Frank, actually pulls me into the office and asked me if I wanted to be cross-trained. Of course I said yes, so he asked me where, and I told him, preferably it would be nice to go to Hollywood Tower, but I wanted to go to the red car trolley. And he said, thank goodness, I had already put your name down without asking you. You're getting cross-trained there. So thank you, Frank, for the best experience of my Disney life, which was the trolleys. But then when I went to go check my next schedule at scheduling, I saw something that surprised me, and it said Mater's Junkyard Jamboree training. So of course I was upset because I hate everything about Cars Land. I hate Mater especially. It was the worst feeling ever. I ended up training at Mater's anyway because rejecting knowledge looks really bad, so I just trained there. I was not the happiest camper. I was not looking forward to working Mater's. It wasn't that bad, but at the end of the day, I still hate Tow Mater and anything Cars related. So then when I went to check my next schedule, I saw the best thing ever, and it said Red Car Training, and that made me the happiest little camper ever. But of course, there's always going to be people that want to burst your bubble, and so when I got trained at Mater's, they were like, oh, you're going to get it taken away from you, and you're not going to get trained at Red Car, you can't get trained at 2 attractions at once, blah blah blah, and they were all negative Nancys and Debbie Downers. Not all of them, there were still some awesome people at Mater's, but of course there's always going to be some Debbie Downers and negative Nancys. But lo and behold, I get trained at Red Car anyway, and that's how I ended my Disney career. So to anybody that ever tried to burst my bubble, in your face, thanks. And getting back to the story though, one day I'm working 5 and dime shift, and we're just hanging out backstage, and that's my parade lead, or that was the parade lead of what he looks like, or what I remember he looked like. And this guy in a blue suit comes by, And he hands me these cards and he's like, hey, you're Stephanie, you're getting cross-trained, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, hi, my name is Carson. Learn this. This is your spiel. So I just want to say thank you, Carson, for taking the time out of your day to deliver my spiel card. That was awesome, and I really appreciate it. So I get trained, I become this little trolley girl, which was the best thing to happen to my Disney career. I love the trolleys and everything about them. I get, invited automatically to Nerf battles and hangouts with the trolley team. So guys, honestly, thank you, because from day one, you never let me feel left out, and I really appreciate it. The trolley team was super awesome. On my PA day, I was nervous. My best friend was actually playing in the park because we were talking again. So he was playing in the park and he saw me driving the red car trolley. And I passed my PA. And on my very first red car shift, I actually got to drive the Newsboys, which was the scariest thing of my life, but I ended up doing just fine. And I did it. So grad night of 2013 comes along, and of course, for my first grad night, I end up back at Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. And I only ended up there for the first grad night and for the 24-hour party. Because the 24-hour party, I got yelled at on stage by a lead, who I'm not going to name names, but she was very rude, and yelled at me for something that I was supposed to have done in the first place because I didn't want to get a safety. She called me a new kid for hitting the E-stop when a kid tried to jump over the tracks into the moving vehicles, and yeah, no, I'm not coming back, so okay, bye. But that was the last day that I ever worked Mater's, and I went back to my trolleys because I would trade any Mater shift I had or call out, because no way was I going to go there and get yelled at by my leads. So 98% of the grad nights, I worked at Red Car, and I worked with the most amazing cast members ever, and we had so much fun. I actually at the time also got a job at AT&T thanks to my best friend. So I was tackling both Disney at night and AT&T in the morning, and eventually I just got really, really tired, and my best friend who got me the job at AT&T, I cried to him, and I actually broke down and cried because I was so exhausted and just everything hurt, and I was just so tired. So he, of course, didn't want to see me like that, and he said I had to make a choice eventually. And it was hard. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to keep at the very end of the day. But AT&T made it easy for me because they promoted me and they gave me a raise. So I ended up staying with AT&T and leaving the trolleys. But of course, even now, I still miss my trolleys, and there is nothing that's going to change that. I will always miss my trolleys and the trolley people and the trolley team because they were the most amazing people. So here I am now, working at AT&T full-time as a rep, and I love the people that I work with, but I still miss the trolley team. So I just want to say thanks to the trolley team again for making my Disney experience really awesome, and thanks.